Hi guys, it's Carisa and I am 8 weeks 2 days today, and I had an ultrasound. It was the last one at the fertility center that's been seeing me, so I've graduated from there. Although I will be going back at least one more time for an intralipids infusion next Tuesday. Today's Thursday. I've been having my ultrasounds on Thursdays, and I believe my next one with my OB is not until June 2nd, and which is a Friday, maybe, I think. I'm not sure. But I'm already nervous about how long that'll be, how long a wait that'll be. I had to really have a heart-to-heart with myself this afternoon, and I'm really working on it. I know I talked about some of this last week, but I have so few symptoms, at least consistent things that I've noticed. Just about everything that I've mentioned about myself in the past goes away. And currently I feel like there's absolutely nothing that I could say identifies me feeling pregnant. And that's been difficult because I know most people, when they've talked to me about it, especially in the doctor's office, they say, "You're lucky." And I have to start believing that, because I didn't for, well, almost all this time. I am lucky, not only that I conceived on my own, but that I'm having a very easy pregnancy so far, and that really shouldn't be something to complain about. I just think that I'm really paranoid from having so many losses and always having bad news. And I think that's something that's really hard to switch gears from, to just feeling like it's always bad news all the time, to not having bad news or anything to worry about so far. So I'm still working on that, and it will be a true test of my own mental fortitude to see how I do from now until June 2nd. And then after that, I believe they said they'll do a 13-week scan, and then I'm on my own for several more weeks after that. And it's funny because I feel like, I was just telling Lisa this the other day, I followed so many, including Lisa's, but I followed so many women's pregnancies. I've seen so many pregnancy vlogs for women who have had single babies, triplets, twins, women, it was their first child, second child, third child. I've seen so many videos and followed so many women, and some of them very closely because they had become good friends of mine. But somehow I always assumed that there was so much more to being pregnant. There was so much more of an active event of pregnancy in their lives. And maybe for a lot of women that's the case, especially ones that experienced nausea of any kind or morning sickness. But I just felt like they had way more appointments than I do, and they had way more going on with their bodies, and it just seemed like so much more involved a process to be pregnant, just from listening to those videos. And I feel like nobody ever mentions the fact that most of the time, most of the day, most of the week, it's entirely possible to not forget you're pregnant, really, but to just not feel like you are, and to not feel like you can believe that you are. And that's something that I've been kind of dealing with lately is, not every minute of every day are you going to have flags saying, like, "Oh, you're pregnant. Oh, this is happening because you're pregnant. You've got another appointment tomorrow," and then the next day, and then the next day. Because truthfully, there is a lot that I don't actually know about pregnancy itself because I blocked it out. I even bought a What to Expect When You're Expecting book a long time ago when I had one of my first very brief pregnancies, and I donated it. I sent it to the thrift store because it felt like it was bad luck to have it in my house. And even when I had it, I didn't even read it. So I guess at this point, I could try and grab another copy of that. But I know very little about the process of being pregnant, I guess. So I don't even realize, in my pursuit to get this far, I didn't realize how involved and not involved it all is, I guess, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but this week, at least, that's been a thing. I've been so clumsy and forgetful, and I'm dropping things easily. When I was driving to my ultrasound today, I almost went the wrong way twice. Mike had to tell me I was in the wrong lane twice. I was very nervous though, in my defense. I was very, very nervous today. I think part of that is just because in the last week or so, I've been remembering all these women that have lost pregnancies at 11 to like 25 weeks. All these women who got to certain points where I'm sure they thought everything was fine and it wasn't. And I think I'm just trying so hard to not let myself enjoy this. I don't know why. I'm so terrified. And especially because I don't have any signs to really hold on to. So I didn't have any reason to believe today that anything was wrong, but I just keep feeling like today is the day I'll get bad news. This isn't gonna last forever. I can't possibly be happy. This isn't happening for me. And I'm so tired of myself. I'm so tired of feeling that way and not being able to fully embrace it. But I don't know if I ever will be able to. And that's just something that I have to work on. But it's hard because I know that when you've been in this community for so long, you meet so many women who have had so many different stories, and second trimester is a milestone, but it's not a guarantee. Third trimester is a milestone, but not a guarantee. Giving birth is not a guarantee. And then even when the child's here, from that point on, you'll always be worried. So I just kind of hope that this is sort of my way of just being a good mom and just worrying myself to death. I don't know. I feel like most of my spotting has gone away, and that's something I really didn't want to definitively say yet, because I thought, well, if I say that I'm not spotting anymore, then I'll start again, I'm sure. But I think that like 6 to 7-ish weeks spotting was just for that time frame, and I'm really not experiencing much of that anymore. Even with the vaginal progesterone, I'm really getting almost nothing. I'm really grateful for that. And I have nothing else to go by as far as things that could worry me or not, so I'm grateful for that. I am, like I said, I've been really dropsy and forgetful and kind of just feeling stupid. I feel like I'm just not all there. And I was a little tired. Yesterday I was pretty tired. I slept a lot yesterday, and I've been trying to balance my workload. I'm getting ready to take a vacation soon, so I'm trying to minimize my work so that I can get some things done before we leave and then have time to, plan and pack and everything. But also time to just rest, which I've felt really guilty about, but I just try and make sure that I take some time out to relax, because I tend to be the kind of person who can really fill my schedule, and I'm never bored. I'm wondering if there's something I could or should be doing. I always have stuff to do. It's just kind of how I am, and I'm trying to not do that right now as much. So I'm working on that as well. I have picked up a little bit of heartburn in the evenings. I don't know if that has anything to do with what I've eaten necessarily, but I have had heartburn happen even when I've just had some water. And the first couple of times I had it, I was like, I'm not going to take anything for this. I am going to feel this heartburn because this is my only pregnancy symptom right now. And eventually it got to the point where I wasn't sleeping well because I couldn't actually get to sleep because of the heartburn. So I started taking something, just a little something, and even like half a dose, just to kind of see how little I needed to get rid of it. And, but that's fine. I'll take it. The other thing I noticed is that I think I get sort of hormone surges where once every like 2 weeks, I will wake up in the middle of the night and I'm in sort of just like a cold sweat, like my whole body is drenched and I'm cold but I'm warm at the same time. And then the next morning my breasts will be larger and more tender and sore, but only for a little while. And then I'll feel some stretching, some kind of horizontal stretching in my lower back on the outer sides of it. And that's pretty much it. And then that goes away. And that's happened twice now. So I guess that's it. I talked to the woman at the front desk today at the fertility center, and she said that she was pregnant with twin boys. a few years ago, and she had no real feelings or anything either until she could start feeling the babies move. That was, you know, kind of relief and help for her. So I know that there are people who understand what I'm saying and what I'm going through right now. Of course, I would like to be nauseated to the point where I can't do anything, but I just wish I had something to hold on to that felt like a positive sign, to just kind of remind me, like, things are good, you're fine, calm down, shut up. So we got to see our sweet little baby again today and hear the heartbeat. The heartbeat sounded much stronger and louder, and it was 170 today. It was the highest it's been so far, and it sounded really like strong, and it really sounded like it was there more than last time, which sounded just sort of like a wishy-washy sound in the machine. I don't have great pictures. I was able to see the little arm and leg buds, and that spot, I don't know if I mentioned that blood spot last time that was in there that almost looked like an additional yolk sac, is going away. It looks like it's being reabsorbed. You can see some of it right there, but it was much larger before, and it looked like it was almost squashing the sac that the baby was in. So that made me a little uncomfortable, but it looks like everything's just fine as far as that's concerned, and it's not likely to come out, which would definitely terrify me to see that, so I'm glad for that. But that's pretty much all I have to report. I am still unsure of when I'm going to be sharing all of this with you guys, but I figured I would just keep updating you as I go so that I can post all these later. Of course, you probably already know everything by now if you're seeing this, but it is just this incredible, wonderful burden to not be able to share it with everybody, because I'd love to, but at the same time, that doesn't validate it anymore. You know, and I actually find a lot of comfort in not talking about it and not discussing it whatsoever. Mike and I will talk about things here and there, but we really don't a lot. He makes sure that I'm comfortable, that I'm taking care of myself, you know, that I'm getting enough rest and things like that, but we're trying to just be cautiously optimistic and just really enjoy, you know, this time where it's kind of still a secret, and feel like it's our own happy little, you know, ball of happiness that we can just enjoy for now. So that's really nice. I don't know why, but I can be really private when it comes to a lot of things, and I think if everyone I knew was asking me how I was feeling every day, it would make me nuts. It's like when you get married and everyone's like, so how's married life? Because they think that's the thing to say, and after a while you start to look like you hate married life because you're like, it's fine. And then people think that you're responding that way because you don't like being married, but you just don't like being asked that over and over again. I don't know. But I'm very, very happy, and I feel a lot better having been able to see the baby, hear the heartbeat, and remind myself that I'm not going to have that crutch every week anymore, so I need to start believing and having a lot of faith and just trying to look forward to the future, because it's never looked better than it does right now. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.